So this is our 5th gen Toyota 4Runner. It's 4-wheel drive, but it's the SR5 package. Take it a little bit off-road, but if you try to go a little bit faster than just kind of crawling around, you're definitely going to be jumping all over the place. The first thing that we wanted to look at was the suspension. Like I said, this is not the TRD package. It's just the factory SR5, and it's kind of geared a little bit more towards general everyday use, and pretty decent on off-road as long as you're not hitting some whoop, trying to go too fast.
We took a ride up to LGE-CTS Motorsports in San Dimas. We not only specialize in customizing off-road trucks, but our full collision shop, so they can correct our little off-road mistake, as well as upgrading the 4Runner suspension.
So the suspension kit from Icon is actually going to take care of a couple different things. Not only is it going to lift the vehicle up a couple inches, which is going to help with ground clearance, being able to fit a little bit bigger tire, which we're going to go to a 33-inch tall tire.
If you go any bigger on the front of a 4Runner, you're going to run into some issues with rubbing, and you're going to have to chop and section the front body mounts. We're going to be upgrading all of this with Icon Vehicle Dynamics Stage 3 suspension setup.
I'm grinding one side of the bolt so I can slide it past the inner fender liner in this pinch molding right here. So right now I'm measuring the distance between the arm and the center of the heim. Make sure that we're going to have the correct clearance for the coilovers, and we're going to have the right caster spread for the alignment from side to side.
The Stage 3 4Runner kit from Icon features a billet upper control arm with their delta joint that has the durability of a ball joint and the performance of a uniball. Now, giving us our lift is Icon's 2.5 series VS aluminum coilovers. These coilovers are adjustable to provide up to a 3.5-inch lift, but are set at the ride height specific for our 4Runner.
If you don't put everything together all at once, the sway bar will always give you issues and will never let everything line up correctly. So now that we're done, we're going to go ahead and wipe everything down, paint marker everything so we know if it's backed off, loosened, stretched, twisted, whatever.
We are reusing the factory sway bar, but relocating it down and forward a bit to take into account the lift and increased travel.
Since we went ahead and dropped down and moved forward the sway bar, we have to go ahead and space down these brackets for the core support for the radiator with the washers that were supplied and the supplied bolts as well. You're going to go ahead and take the bracket, put the bolt through, put 2 washers in the front. You're also going to go ahead and use 1 washer in the back.
Now in the rear, Icon Stage 3 kit includes a billet lower link bar,
Short spacer and a long spacer. The short spacer goes towards the inside of the vehicle.
Once the bushings are greased, a flush Zerk fitting is installed so there won't be any interference with the link mounts. Now the new coil springs will lift the rear up 2 inches, and it reuses the factory bump stops. It's going to be easier to disconnect the track bar and drop the lower link bars to help get the new spring installed.
Got it. It's fine. Should we let it go? Where'd you go, sis? Right.
Everything gets tightened up, marked, and will be retorqued after 1,000 miles. One of the main benefits of running a taller tire is increased ground clearance. It's going to help us get over a lot of obstacles, but we're also going to be going with a wider tire, and that's going to give us a little bit more traction, especially when we air down. We're mounting Yokohama's new Geolandar X-AT tires that are geared towards both highway performance and tackling the dirt. We went with an 18 by 8.5 inch wheel for a bit of an upsized styling over the factory 17s. One of the really cool features of our Black Rhino Dugger wheels are removable rock guards, so we won't have to worry about damaging our wheels out on the trails. With the wheels and tires mounted up and the 4Runner on the ground, the track bar is bolted back up and the front end gets aligned.
Right now we're airing down so that we can get a little more traction, and we're going to hit the trails and see what this thing can do.
We entered the vast circuit of trails on the north side of Big Bear Lake near Fawnskin. With the new suspension set up on the 4Runner, the trails were like a cruise in the park. So the next steps are going to include some of the gear, protection, and camping setups that we'll need to not only be able to handle photo shoots, but camping trips, overland excursions, and just general day-to-day driving.